And while Russia positions itself firmly against the West, it is also looking out for its friends in other parts of the world. Yesterday, the Russian foreign minister concluded a diplomatic tour, a tour of West and Central Africa. Sergey Lavrov visited 4 countries: Guinea, the Republic of Congo, Burkina Faso, and Chad. Do you know what connects these nations, besides geographical proximity? They're all former French colonies. And all of these nations have problems with the West. Russia is using this to make inroads, to edge out Western troops in Africa. Let's start with Guinea. Guinea is run by a military junta. The country saw a coup in 2021. The West condemned the coup. They supported sanctions on Guinea, sanctions by a bloc of West African nations. The sanctions brought difficulties to Guinea, but they did not succeed in ousting the junta. So they were lifted earlier this year. The sanctions were lifted, but by then the economic damage to Guinea had been done. And what does Russia do? Listen to this.
Our companies operating in Guinea benefit from the good conditions created by your government. We hope that this mutually beneficial interaction will continue.
Russia is doubling down on its trade with Guinea. After this, Lavrov went to the Republic of Congo. We don't know the exact details of what was discussed, but the talks were supposed to revolve around 2 things: trade and military cooperation. Trade between the 2 countries has reportedly soared off late. Multiple Russian firms have bases in the ROC, the Republic of Congo. One company, Lukoil, is working to export the country's liquefied natural gas. On the military front, Russia has signed a deal with the ROC in 2019. Russian military specialists, that's what they call them, military specialists, are active in the country, and there are talks of defense sales as well from Russia to the Republic of Congo. So Russia is also looking to expand these military ties. After the Republic of Congo, Lavrov went to Burkina Faso. Burkina Faso is another coup-hit West African nation. It saw back-to-back coups in the year 2022, and it's currently ruled by a military junta. The junta took control and promised security. Burkina Faso has been facing a terrorist insurgency for years. The previous elected government was trying to fight this with help from Western nations like France. But progress was slow. And Burkina Faso's military got tired of waiting, so they overthrew the elected government and decided to fight the insurgents themselves. A few months after the coup, the junta decided to expel French troops. Burkina Faso did not want to host its former colonizers' soldiers. But the country still needed help against the terrorist insurgency, so it turned to Russia. And Moscow has been supporting the junta ever since. Lavrov reiterated that support this week.
The Russian instructors are working here and their number will increase. At the same time, we provide training to the representatives of Burkina Faso armed forces and law enforcement agencies in the Russian Federation.
Russia's military presence in Burkina Faso is set to grow. Burkinabe troops will also be trained in Russia, so their partnership will expand, much to the dismay of countries like France. The final stop on Lavrov's Africa tour was Chad. Now, Chad is a bit different from all these other Sahel states. It has always been friendly with the West, but that looks to be changing. Chad recently asked the US to remove its troops from the country. The withdrawal talks are ongoing, but this signals a shift for Chad, a shift away from the West. And now Lavrov has paid a visit, reportedly to talk about combating terrorism and expanding military ties. So don't be surprised if Chad becomes the next country to get Russian advisors. Lavrov's goal seems to have been simple: boost Russia's presence in Africa at the expense of Western interests. Basically, Russia is edging out Western troops. It is actively trying to replace French and American boots on the ground and become the premier security provider to Africa. That would undo decades of Western influence and make Russia the go-to alternative to the West for African nations. And the African nations provide Russia with something too. They are a new set of allies for Moscow at an increasingly hostile global stage.
Firstpost reports from the world's second largest continent. Hello, I'm Alison Lagrange. A very warm welcome from Durban, South Africa. We get you the news and the newsmakers from Africa. From elections to climate change to innovations and opportunities. As the world's attention shifts, we report from Africa, the heart of the global south. Join me every weekday live on Firstpost.